So, the reason why doctors are now suddenly releasing information about parasites is because I did the math. And I know that the reason why my son suffers so much from Crohn's is because of the parasites in his system. I also know the medical scam that hospitals are running. The nurses might not know it, maybe the general practitioners don't know it, but these other GI doctors, psychologists, there's doctors that do know. And Logan Health Care, you are on warning, because if anything happens to my son, heads are gonna roll. I'm gonna burn lives down from the inside out without ever touching a person. It's one thing for the government to do what it did to me, but to do that to my offspring, to my family, my grandchildren, I won't have it. So I absolutely expect changes to be made. I don't care who you think I am. And the fact that other citizens are not demanding the same thing is appalling. I demand retribution and justice for the political crimes that have been committed against me by our own military, by our own government. I don't care what your reasons were. You owe me. Life for a life. The whole MK Ultra operations, Operation Looking Glass, Operation Naomi, all of these things that have been like, people like me silently suffer sitting next to people. People like me have been like Vlad the Impaler putting our bodies out, publicly humiliated because of needing assistance in a world that wasn't designed for us. And it's a game. It's just a game to them. All of the elites, it's just a game. And so why should I feel bad about anything that I have to do? People need to realize, again, it's one thing to do it to me, but to do these things to my offspring, to plan these things to do to my offspring, I refuse to stand for it. I will not comply. I did not ever consent to surveillance. I did not consent to having these things done to me. I did not consent to having the government infiltrate my life the way they have been. Just because I'm a woman, I have to be owned? No. This is why they needed men docile. This is why they feminized men. This is why they made sure men didn't know where their place was. Your place is defending women. And if you're too busy defiling them, then you're not doing your job, which is why they introduced porn. If they have you chasing false expectations and constantly disappointed, then you're stuck in your feelings. This is where they want people. Why? Menticide. It kills your mind while they play out some political agenda. And why they would do things? Pure selfishness. They're only thinking about themselves. That's why. So it's not a crime for me to do the same. So yeah, if medical institutions don't pull their shit together and actually do right by their patients, offloading parasites, heads are gonna roll. I'll shake the magic carpet right again. Because what the government has been allowed to do to people in this country, we all know that's wrong. The way men have been allowed, not just allowed, but commercialized in treating women terribly, should never have been allowed. Ever. And the father that allows his daughter to be treated that way is not a father. So, the father that violates his children is the lowest man in my book. There are some things that, if I was God, I would not forgive, and that would be one of them. The other would be defiling your citizens. Informed consent. There are laws on all levels about that. And so for them to push their agenda, leaving out information on purpose. They say it's for the betterment of society, but it's for the betterment of their pocketbook, so that they can continue to treat places like Montana like it's their own private Swiss Alps. Killing off the locals so that they can make it a ski resort for themselves. This is all they're worried about. Rich people just want to get richer, which is why I don't care about money. Because that's all they care about. Which means in the end, they're gonna die like that pirate in the bottom of a cave, hugging their gold to the end. And the rest of us are gonna go on living. Herbal remedies for your parasites, people. Doctors can't help you. That's what they're not telling you. They actually don't have the knowledge it takes to combat this. The things that are happening on the planet, this is what scientists are not telling you about. They do not have the education, the experience, or the ability to help people offload their parasites because they're too busy getting rich. They didn't do their homework. They just pretended to. This is much bigger than what people have been able to wrap their heads around. And this is on a global scale. So there will be mayhem in every country. And all political leaders are bracing for impact. Because the citizens have had enough. Parasite or no, we've had enough. Enough of their games. Enough of their bullshit. Our lives are better when we're not attached to the device, when we're not attached to the government, when we're not attached to the social idea of things that they have placed on humanity. And so recognize doctors are they're more helpless than me. And I'm the one with HIV. So I will be trying out new remedies. I'm going to be trying to combat my HIV through my sinus cavity. And I will be making herbal remedies for that because, maybe in our social construct of things, the cure is only going to be available to people with money. Not in my world. And so I am finding alternative routes to curing illnesses with herbal remedies, which is why the government tried to delete me, because they know that I have the ability to supersede. And they also knew I had the ability to stop them. They also knew I had the ability to speak up about things. I've taken on criminals. I've taken on a lot of big people. And so what needs to happen is people need to stop being afraid. They're trying to make you afraid. They're trying to stress people for a reason. And that's because when we stress, when we make those decisions out of lack, we don't see the bigger picture. We don't see our real options. And so think outside the box. Because what they've done with 2020, that was menticide, making you put a mask on, putting everybody in fear. What they did is they put everybody's minds inside of a box. And now everybody is mentally and emotionally locked in themselves. The only way is to allow yourself the space to feel that. And so, again, I'm going to roll this out there. Logan Healthcare and all medical institutions, if you don't get your shit straight, if my son dies on your table, I'm not going to file a lawsuit. I'm going to burn things down. Are we clear? I will not be happy with money if my son dies due to your negligent bullshit and your political bureaucratic games. You have an agenda? Go play that. Not in my yard. Not in my life. And so people need to stop accepting this. It's because we've been domesticated. And if someone comes off as rude or politically incorrect, God forbid, God doesn't care. He actually does not care what I do. I can do whatever I want. And I know that to be true.